let's take a moment to really arrive in this space, just knowing that at this very moment in time, this is where you are meant to be. Welcome to your Yin practice. This is a slow practice. So if slow is not what you're after today, please go and do one of my other practices, yoga for snow legs, or there are some quicker ones coming out soon as well. So our Yin, I like to call it a total body reset. We will move in this practice from a state of fight or flight that is enveloping everyone into our parasympathetic nervous system, our rest and digest. So let's all start by just noticing some sensations in our body. You can notice the connection with your feet to the mat, your sit bones to the mat. You can notice your hands on your knees, noticing where your spine is at. Are your shoulders up by your ears? Let's just notice them start to lower. So we're going to take our first posture today onto our back, and we will just move this strap over to the side. You can take your pillow, if you're lucky enough to have a bolster, then take your bolster. And you can fold this pillow in half. And you can come to just pop your other stuff off the mat. And let's lie down and bring this bolster so that it can even be a little bit higher, running along your bra line. Yep, guys, your bra line too. Now, if you are arriving here and thinking, oh, I want a little bit more, and you have a block, or you feel like you want to stack your pillows a little bit and maybe put another one on, then you can. The key with our Yin practice is taking the time to get comfortable. So we are going to take ourselves to the edge of our comfort and pause there. And we hold these postures for 3 minutes to 5 minutes. And in that time, we will allow the opening of our connective tissue. So let's just structurally arrive in this posture, allowing your feet to fall to the side. You may want to take them wider. You may be quite happy with them quite narrow. You can clench your glutes just to take that slight amount of stress, which I will talk about more through this practice, and then release. It's often much easier to release and move into this more calming way once we have created minor stress. So we have our head and our eyes looking slightly back. We have our arms coming up. I'm under a rest or cactus arms. Spread those fingers, relax the backs of your hands onto the floor, and close your eyes. So just knowing that you are safe, and this knowledge of safety can allow you to surrender. You can move your jaw slightly from side to side. And then just come to pause in stillness. If we then allow the only thing to be consciously moving is our breath, we can notice that cool air as it comes in through our nostrils, the back of our throat, down past our heart and into our bellies. Fill your belly, and then releasing, drawing through your pelvic floor, your navel to spine, and just let yourself surrender with those shoulders. If you need to breathe the air out through your mouth for these first few breaths, that is absolutely fine. I am merely your guide, I am here to help you through this process. So again, taking this beautiful long breath, inhaling through your nose. And then as you exhale, draw through that pelvic floor, that navel to spine, and just allow your torso to surrender. So you might take your mind's eye to what is happening in your spine. We are creating this compression in the back of our spine, and then this opening through the front of our spine. We are creating an extra blood supply that can enter through the front, and then once we release that stress, that tension on the back of our spine, we will allow that blood supply to enter this area. So let's all inhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, inhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, inhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So one more breath. And just release. And in the Yin practice, the movement between postures is as important as our actual posture. So if you can allow the movements to be slow and kind, bending your knees, letting the soles of your feet rest for a moment on the mat, letting this left arm come onto the chest, and then just rolling over to the right side as you make your way to just remove the support from underneath you and pop it to one side. So we're going to now take a shoelace pose, and you can either take it with your feet up the wall. So if you have a wall, take your feet up the wall. Now if you can make some space somewhere and get this legs up the wall sensation, then it's a really good way to boost your immune system and turn off that fight or flight. I like to do this before bed, and quite often I will take my children to do it before bed. Now if you have the wall, we'll come to bend our feet and press the feet onto the wall. Take your left foot, pop it onto your right thigh, and then just pausing here, taking your left heel of your hand and pressing it all the way down the inside of your thigh. If you don't have the wall, you can do it just like this. So it doesn't matter either way. Just make sure at some time today you do get your legs up the wall. So we're now going to pause here. You can hear City in the background. Now if your hips are quite open and you want a little bit more, you can bring your foot up and hold on to the back of your hamstring. Or you can hold on to your shin. Now just noticing when you arrive here where you feel the sensation. Shush. She's saying, how did you start that yoga class without me, and why am I here? So let's just rotate this right ankle for a moment. And then taking yourself to your edge of comfort. Taking yourself to your edge of comfort. How does it feel to notice this discomfort, to arrive at this discomfort? Reminding yourself that you're in a safe place, your entire being can relax. Once you have arrived at this edge of comfort, let's draw our awareness to our breath. And exhaling out, just gently pressing away with that left knee, allowing your tailbone to come towards the mat. You might notice that at the back of your throat you have a gentle hum. It may sound like the noise your dog makes when she slightly snores with happiness. It might sound like your dad, your partner, when they're asleep. This is a really important sensation, our vagus nerve, which connects from it's our 10th cranial nerve, and it comes all the way down into our abdomen, and it is the direct communication to our parasympathetic nervous system. So within this process of yin, we will take a few postures where we can trigger that vagus nerve, but a sneaky little way to do it is by making a noise at the back of your throat. Humming, singing, talking, they all trigger your vagus nerve. So sometimes even just speaking with someone can be enough to calm you. So let's take one more breath here. Continuously pressing away with that knee, and I will just guide you through your final 3 breaths. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, inhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, inhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So wherever you're at, just releasing that chin. If your legs are up the wall, you can just help that left leg back, and then allow those feet to come back to the mat. If you are against the wall, you may need to shimmy back a little bit. Bring your hands to your belly, and you can just allow the soles of your feet to come together and your knees to fall out to one side. We're going to take a moment of rebound, and in this moment of rebound, you may notice a little bit of gurgling in your tummy. Your rest and digest is being switched on. May not happen to you till the very end of the class. When that happens, just give yourself a little smile and a pat on the back. You've managed to turn yourself into a restful being. Your immune system is now able to really kick into gear. So let's really breathe into our belly here. In this rebound, we are now allowing the changes that we are starting to make to come into fruition. So let's bring our hands to the outside of our thighs, draw our knees back together, let your legs pause for a moment, and then we're going to draw our other leg up. So you may take a moment to just check in with this whole hip region. You know, does it feel quite different on this side? Sometimes I like to take both my hands and really move that flesh off the bone. If we're working to release this fascia, this connective tissue, this network that runs through our entire body, and let's give it a helping hand. Whilst we're sleeping at night, this becomes so sticky, so this can be a gorgeous practice to do first thing in the morning. But again, it can be amazing at the end of your day. So let's allow that leg to come up and the arm to come through. So let's just check here that we are not holding our jaw, because our jaw and our hips develop at the same time in utero. There is a connection, and it is really helpful sometimes to release your jaw, and you can sometimes feel a sensation of release in your hips. So let's close our eyes and arrive here. You can take a little rotation of that ankle. Notice if you have any little Rice Krispies releasing. Bringing your hands onto this, pressing your hands onto this shin, and then allowing your mind's eye to press that knee away. Let's breathe into our bellies, and as we exhale, send your tail down towards the mat and press away a little bit more with that knee. Let's just notice here, is there a connection between our mind and our knee? Sometimes it can take a little bit of practice to wake that back up. We're so used to using our physicality, our hands, you know, to press away. And so in this instance, we're having to trigger new neural pathways. And let's just notice here, how does it feel through your sit bones? How does it feel through your glutes? How does it feel through the side of your hip? Taking your breath into your belly. We'll take 3 more parasympathetic style breaths. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, inhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, inhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. One last press away with that knee, creating that opening in the head of your femur. Gets so sticky, especially if you're sitting a lot. Let's release that leg back down. If you want to give it a little press with your hand, notice what happens. Bring those feet nice and wide. You can bring your arms up and overhead if you want to grasp hold of your right wrist, and then drop your right knee to the left heel, opening that whole right side of your body. Let's create space in our intercostals, those little muscles that join our rib cage together. Let's give our lungs room to move. Let's fill those lungs, open the rib cage, open through your armpits. And then coming back to the other side, just change the grasp of those hands and wrists, dropping your left knee to your right heel. And let's breathe. Seeing your breath as this beautiful healing white light. And it can come all the way to your belly and come through your lungs and heal your lungs into your armpits. And come back to center. And then let's just take a moment in our rebound. So if you want to take this wide, you can. It's a series with a number of gorgeous mini shavasana. So lucky. Let's take our breath to our belly. Just noticing what is happening in your body. You may notice a tingling. You may notice a heaviness, a lightness. Let's bring those arms back overhead, rolling over to our right side. And we're just going to come up and bring our bolster or our pillows onto our mat lengthways. So now let us bring our right heel behind us and our left thigh to midline. Okay, so pausing here. Let's spread those sit bones. You've got your blanket handy. May I suggest that if you know you're quite stiff, you bring it onto the back of here just to support you. And we're going to gently ease ourselves back, okay? So this is one of the favorite postures of a gorgeous lady I work with, Jenny Jones, on her workshops. And I teach it on all the workshops because when we snowboard, and I also taught it to all my Verbier classes, when we ski and snowboard a lot, we get quite a shortening through our hip flexors. So you may find that you arrive here and after a couple of breaths you think, oh, I can go a little bit lower. That's the joy of yin. Whilst we do want to come and rest in stillness after we've found our edge, to give our connective tissue enough time to truly open, we also need to be aware that at about the halfway point, we do have permission to move, to take ourselves deeper, or to bring ourselves a little bit out if we think we've come too far. So I am, before I come into full stillness, going to remove one more of my pillows. Sometimes you get to this place and you think, crikey dip, what have I done? But I'm not thinking that. So I now invite you to arrive in stillness. Close your eyes. Taking a deep breath in, fill your belly. Exhale, just allowing your belly to sink down. And I am going to invite you to send your right knee away, to create this space through your quad, to see if that right sit bone wants to go a little bit lower, to allow your ribcage to settle, to allow your shoulder blades to sink 20% deeper, to allow the back of your head to truly connect with either your mat, your bolster, or your pillow. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, inhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'll allow you to find your own rhythm for your final 6 breaths. Just allowing yourself to sink deeper, to surrender more into the safety of your mat, to allow your body to create space. It is from this point of edge and stillness that we are opening this connective tissue. We are increasing our blood supply throughout our whole body. Our joints will have more mobility. Our lung capacity will increase. Our cardiovascular system will function better. Our immunity will improve. 2 more breaths. When you are ready, you can just allow that right hand to come to your right leg or your right hip, and let that right leg release a little bit off the mat, and then rolling to the left ever so slowly. Slow down your movements by 20% more. If you need to pause momentarily on your right side before you come out and up, then please do. It might be that you have a sense of compression through that lower spine, so really pause and take your time. Let's just allow ourselves to come up. If you need to help your legs back out, please do. Hands come to face backwards. We'll give those legs a little bit of movement. Give them a bang. Amazing legs. You get me everywhere. I love you and I feel deep gratitude for you. Okay, pausing here. Take a deep breath in, spine long. Okay, let's bring this right heel to midline. And then our left heel behind us. Draw your spine long. Just check in with where you're at. Does this feel different to the other side? And if so, how? Is your left seat slightly higher? Is your left seat lower? Regardless of where it's at, just acknowledging, noticing, this helps me be grounded. I am here, I am now, there is nowhere else I am meant to be. So then when you are ready, just allowing yourself to come back. You may get to here and think to yourself, oh, I need those props. You may get to here. Take your time. If you want to pause here for a moment and just check in with your body, is this my edge? Is this where I am meant to pause? Or can I take it a little bit deeper? So you might notice my left knee came off then a little bit more than on the other side. So I will just take my breath to my quad and noticing through the practice how my quad will actually give me extra space. Bringing my hands overhead this time. So again, making this your practice. Whatever feels good for you, shut your eyes if you want to. If it feels better for you, keep them open. There are no rules to yin. I am merely aiding you and assisting you in the process of spending some time on your mat and giving yourself some self-love. So once you have arrived in a place where you think you can maintain stillness, just pausing to take a breath. Fill that belly, allow that breath to travel through that hip flexor onto that quad, shimmy its way down that quad as if it is a palm of a hand, releasing any tightness, press any tightness. Tightment, I like that word, could be a new word. Pressing into your knee with that imaginary hand, sending it away. Let's arrive at our yogic style breaths, 6 yogic breaths per minute. So when I've come to 6, you know that a minute has passed. Let's inhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So just checking in with your body before you complete your last 6 breaths. Are you needing to move out? Do you need more support? Or can you take yourself a little deeper? It is right now that the opening is occurring. By taking yourself to this edge and holding, you are creating this space. Keeping this count going in your head. Just allowing your breath to guide you, allowing your breath to quieten your mind, guiding your breath to wherever may be talking to you. You may all of a sudden feel a sense of release. You may be thinking, dear Lord, get me out of here. And that's okay. But next time you practice, it will be easier. And next time, and next time. 2 more breaths. Ready, letting those arms come back down. That left hand just comes down. You can even bring it behind the thigh just to give yourself some support. and rolling onto that right side again, moving a millimeter at a time and coming to pause on that right side. We will now rebound, so allowing yourself, if you have support underneath you, just roll to the side, remove it, and take yourself down to rebound. Now, when I used to teach Yin prior to doing my extra 100 hours of Yin training, I never used to take the rebound, and I must confess that I even found the rebound quite frustrating in my first few classes I did with my Yin guru teacher, Amanda Hannah. And then when I started to really check in with my body, my proprioception started to ignite my awareness of what was really happening. I really started to enjoy the sensation of the rebound. So if you are experiencing those feelings of frustration, I hear you, write it out, because actually this is when your body is taking the time to readjust to these new connections that are being made. So you are gently creating space in this fascia, this connective tissue, and it has to have time to So let's just bend those knees, bring those feet to connect, and come with our knees to the right side, using that hand to allow you to come up. I'd like you to take your bolster, or you can take, I'm actually going to bring my knees to the other side to start. So I'll show you what it looks like. No, I will start this way because I want you to see how it looks with the legs. So we are creating a back to front L shape. So you have your right hip onto your pillow or your bolster. You may want 2 pillows. You then have that leg coming out to the side, and let's tuck that foot in, and your other foot is coming up behind. Okay, so we're then going to turn our torso and take a moment just to check in. How does that actually feel for you? You know, it might be that you are so tight. You may have had this virus and the cough, and your intercostals are going to be agonizing. So this might be enough for you. If it's not, come to lie and look the same way as your knees to start with. So I have just realized I want both my pillows, and this feels really nice for me. If you have a bolster, then you will be enjoying it immensely. So take a moment to settle in here. And now that you've seen my legs, I am going to turn around so that when I take it to the next stage, I am actually still going to be able to look at you. So I have my hip like this. So once you've taken a moment to check in with your body, we're actually going to rise back up and come to look in the other direction. So this could be quite intense to start with. You may need to come back up, take a breath, and then really release. So settling in here, take a moment to find your edge. Close your eyes if it feels good for you. If it doesn't feel good for you, you can keep them open. We are coming into an intense state of vulnerability in Yin, which is how we shed layers of memories of our damaged cells that are damaged through emotional trauma, through physical trauma, through injury. They love to stick around, those dirty old damaged cells. And so through this stripping back in our Yin practice, we are creating new neural pathways. we are training ourselves when we reach this edge that we're okay on the edge, and we're okay to pause on the edge. And actually, we quite like the edge. So we can take that breath to our belly, noticing which path it wants to take. Does it want to travel up the out left-hand side of your ribs, into your armpits? Do you feel like potentially it's catching in your chest? If you have been operating in a state of fight and flight, in heightened anxiety, it may take you a few practices before you are able to get that breath to your belly. But don't give up. I remember when I had chronic fatigue and I was eternally in a state of fight and flight, and I would go to my yin class, and quite often it wouldn't be until the last 5 minutes of the class that I would arrive in that state that I'd been searching for the whole class. And allowing yourself to surrender 20% deeper, 30% deeper. And let's see this breath, this healing white light, in the same way that we absorb what we see on the TV, on social media, on the news, into our cells, in the way that it can create a sense of panic. We can visualize healing, and it can create the sense of calm. So let's take that breath in through our nose, down our throat, into our heart, and into our belly. Let's move through the count. If your breath is very different to mine, then please just silence me. I have been asked by a number of people who have requested this video though to please include the count. So I am going to count. I can't please everyone, but you can silence me, so that's fine. So let's inhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, inhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, inhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, inhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, inhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Just taking one more count in your head. Just bringing your hands beside your body. Really gently just pressing yourself up and allowing your hands to come in front of you. Move those pillows behind. And just bringing that strap beside you. We'll need it in a minute. Coming to rebound for 2 breaths. Without disturbing yourself too much, taking your strap or your belt, whichever you have got, and popping it behind your head. So you're wrapping it over your right foot, just drawing your toes towards you on both feet, taking a moment, palms facing up, taking a deep breath into your belly. Breathing in calm and exhale, release. Let those shoulders come towards the mat, just allowing those magnets on your shoulder blades to connect with the mat. Let's visualize that healing white light coming into our right foot, along our calf, through the space at the back of our knee, hamstring, through into your glute, up your back, shoulder blades, your neck, just seeing it come into your head, filling your whole head. And we won't stay here for as long as we have held other postures because it can be quite intense. So we'll just take 3 breaths. If you want to spend longer in this posture, we can pause this video here and then you can just spend as long as you want. But really, I've noticed in my class, the first time people do this, it can be so intense. And as we know, we can't release unless we are relaxed. So just bringing your hands to your strap, bend that knee. Just allowing your head to come off, noticing that beautiful sensation of the blood coming into your head. Pop your strap to the left, hug your knee into your chest, rotate your ankle, anti-clockwise, clockwise, and then just moving from side to side, imagining that space at the head of your femur. Let's bring our right hand onto our left hand onto our right shin, dropping it all the way over, and then opening, clamshelling that right arm open, and you can just pop it onto your pillow and allowing this opening to come from the tips of your fingers, through your arm, down the side of your body, on the outside of your thighs, shins, calves, just letting everything fall heavy. And in this posture, it can be challenging to get your breath to your belly. It is only when we practice our belly breath in our safe environment that we can then draw on that tranquilizing breath in a stressful environment. Three more breaths. When you are ready, allowing that gaze to come back to center, your arm can slowly move, and just help that leg back to a beautiful half happy baby. So using your opposite arm, your hand of your left hand, to hold this steady to support your hip, your femur. Bring your right arm on the inside, press with your tricep onto your hamstring. Just wrap that arm around and hold your toes. And then you can take this left hand and just press into the outside of your left hip. You can press down and just take this moment to really visualize this opening you're creating. It's like a push me, pull you. So you're drawing your hip one way and you are sending it back down the other way. So we again won't stay here for long, it's pretty intense. One more breath. And when you have finished that breath, allowing your left hand to support your foot, drawing that right knee into your chest. Last little circle, and then let's allow that right leg to come back to the mat. Just pausing. You can really notice what's going on. What have you created on this right side of your body? Does it feel heavy? Does it feel tingly? Does it feel light? Noticing the difference and knowing that you're going to create this opening now on the other side. So let's just take our strap, try and, if you're comfortable with your eyes closed in a practice, really try and do this with your eyes closed. Ignite your intuition, coming up, if you need to, onto your forearms for a moment, stretching your right toe towards you at the same time as you draw your left toe. Taking a moment just to notice where you feel different, and then allowing your palms to come face up. Taking a deep breath in, filling wherever you need to fill, and let those magnets draw you down. Let your palms absorb everything that is coming into you. Let's visualize this white light again, but let it come in through the crown of your head this time. Let it move down the back of your neck, through your shoulder blades, past your heart, into your belly. Let it fill your belly, down through your whole pelvic girdle and into that left leg. Open your hamstrings, open the back of your knee, your calf. Send your heel towards the sky. Let yourself sink deeper and come into your yogic breath. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Just having one more breath. Fill your torso. Let your breath rise from your belly to your chest and then sink from your chest to your belly. Let's take that little bend in your knee. Take the outside of your strap. Just enjoying the sensation of the blood rushing into the back of your neck. Take your strap off your foot and just come to draw that knee into your chest. So you're just moving it from side to side. So keeping your sit bones connected and imagining that you're inside the head of your femur and you're just moving it back and forth. Back and forth. And let's bring our right hand to our left shin. Draw that leg all the way across the body. Yum! Opening through that glute. And then clamshell that arm onto your readily awaiting pillow. You might find you don't actually need it, and that's okay. Just wherever you're at is great. Breathing in, fill your belly. Release. And again. Fill your belly. If we imagine this Chinese meridian line, which comes up the outside of the foot, and then up the outside of this calf, and just see this white light again, clearing blockages. You can self-heal. You have this power. Use the power of your mind. Use the power of yin. Use this movement that you have created from stress, anxiety, into rest and digest. You will sleep so much better tonight. And if it doesn't work today, it will work tomorrow. Sometimes it can take a few days to release all the tension that has been sitting in your body and your mind. Let's breathe. Inhale. Exhale. When you are ready, just allowing that arm to come back over. You can lift your knee back to center, that whole leg, holding that foot steady, bringing that left arm on the inside. Wrap your arm, hold your toes, draw your toes back to you. Right thumb comes into that side, releasing just where we have all these connections up the side, gluteus minimus, maximus. We have our psoas coming through as one of its connections at the head of the femur, the hip flexor, in your lumbar, in your thoracic. There's 4 connections, so we can often get a great release when we come into our half happy baby with the movement of our leg, up into this position and just releasing. It's a posture that we don't take frequently. And then just moving into your full happy baby, and let's all visualize what this baby sees, this beautiful world that this baby is seeing with love, with kindness, the kindness that you are seeing from your neighbors, the kindness you're seeing from your community. And we will just hug our legs into our chest, finishing with a reclined butterfly. We won't be here for long because without the proper support it can be quite intense on the hips. If you do have blocks and want to spend some time here, please do. And then we will transition into our most important posture of the whole practice, our Shavasana. So I like to always take my pillow under my knees and allow my knees to fall to the side, just to give the lower back a break. Because I have two pillows, I will pop one under my head, but I don't normally. And then bring that blanket on top of you. This was knitted by my Nana's sister, so I think it's quite special to have props to use where they mean a lot to you and you feel enveloped in love, both physically and then emotionally. So let us all arrive in our Shavasana, and I will talk you through a guided relaxation. You take your breath, draw your breath to your belly. You can either have your hands on your belly or your palms can be facing up. Allow your belly to soften and expand. Let's take another breath. And on this final breath, everybody please sigh it out your mouth. Let's trigger that vagus nerve. Relax your feet, your ankles, taking your breath to your shins, your calves. Release. Your knees, quads, hamstrings, release. Let's see this healing infinity sideways sign through our pelvic girdle and release. In your belly, spread, fall heavy, release. Fill your lungs and release. Fill your heart. Release. The front of your body fall heavy on your shoulder blades, your shoulders fall heavy on the floor, biceps, triceps, elbows, forearms, wrists, palms of your hands, your fingers curl gently over your hands. Let your throat fall heavy on your neck, tongue, jaw, cheeks, eyes, forehead, whole head, whole body. Release. safe in the knowledge you will have approximately 5 minutes here, and then I will bring you back. Gently wiggle your fingers, your toes. You can inhale your arms up and overhead and stretch from the tips of your fingers to the tips of your toes. And then just bringing your knees up to your chest. Take a moment to thank these legs. They get you to the loo, to the kitchen. And maybe if you have it in you, take a moment to feel deep gratitude for someone or something in your life. And just roll onto your right side and take a moment to notice the mental, physical benefits of your practice. Just give yourself a thank you for making it to your mat today. Just keeping your eyes closed or your gaze low. Using your left hand, just press yourself back up and come to sit in a cross-legged position or however is comfortable for you. Let's just bring our hands to heart center in prayer. You can bow your chin to your chest. We'll take 3 inhalations and really sigh them out our mouth. Inhale. 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 Let's rub our hands together. Pop your hands on your eyes. Let that heat, that energy come back into your eyes. You can spread your fingers. You can open your eyes. Really gently bring those hands together. Hit your third eye. And I thank you so much for joining me today. And from the bottom of my heart, I wish you good health. Whether you are going into this journey or coming out the other side. And all my love. Namaste.